Hey, go.
Asteroid of fear.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Men of the House podcast. This is a little bonus episode, a little special summertime updates and listener updates. So, first thing I wanted to say was thank everyone for tuning in and listening, supporting the show. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, whichever platform you get your podcasts on. Also, if there's an episode you really enjoyed, make sure you share it with someone. So here lately, I've actually been interviewing a lot of great guests and been doing a lot of editing, and I discovered transcription editing. That means I can remove out keywords like you know, uh, things like that. That saved me a lot of time. And then probably about the time I figured that out, the more I started wanting to not edit. So kind of leave the conversation in its most natural form because the value's in the conversation and not the edit. I'm not a professional editor. I'm not trying to edit motion pictures here. I'm just editing a podcast or lack thereof. So I might edit out the beginning just a little bit where myself and the guest talk or discuss the outline. But outside of that, I'm pretty much leaving it. But on another note, kind of what I wanted to talk about mostly was I wanted to introduce the Men of the House private accountability group. So I put a post on social media regarding it, and it's going to be coming soon. I'm going to be launching it. And what it's going to be is pretty much kind of like you would do online coaching, except for accountability. We would have a weekly accountability meeting. We would discuss how you did or what you did last week towards whatever goals you wanted to set for the week. We would discuss any obstacles and possibly look at ways of solving the problem or removing the obstacle. And this is going to be a paid service, but don't worry, it won't be expensive. It's not going to be designed to break the bank, but it is going to be designed to keep you accountable. And the great thing about a group setting is that there might be other people in the group who've actually accomplished what you're trying to accomplish and may have the brain horsepower or experience to help you navigate your situation. So it's kind of you know, it's something for you, but also something to help connect to others and, connecting to a group of semi-strangers in the beginning. And it can be kind of, it can make you a little nervous, but if you think about it at the same time, everybody's going to be there for the same purpose. So you already have something in common. But also, there's something different about going to a group and meeting new people and having them hold you accountable versus, let's say, you want to have your girlfriend or your spouse hold you accountable. You know, they might let you off a little bit easier because they know you. They might not encourage you at all because sometimes you might have a spouse or a significant other, a partner, or someone in your life that maybe they don't really believe you can change. I don't think the people closest to us believe we can change until we actually change or start changing, but then also maintaining that change. Because I can assure you, I am way different, nowhere near the person I was 2 years ago in July of 2022. Complete opposite. So, but I've had to do that. I've had to maintain it, sustain it, be accountable to myself in getting the results that I wanted. And that was until I joined the Podcast Connection Network. And with the Podcast Connection Network, we hold each other accountable. So that's my accountability group. we have weekly meetings, and basically we say if we're gonna, if I'm gonna pursue two goals this week for my podcast and or business, then I would choose to do two actions, and then the next Monday we would meet and talk about it. But we do something kind of fun. We put money into a pot, and he who is most consistent, you get points for accomplishing your goals or not. And he who has the most points at the end of a specified time frame wins the money. Now it's, just $2 a week is what we put in. So, you know, you could win 20, $30 or so, depending on the time frame. But anywho, the point is that that's my accountability group, and that's what I want to do for you. Now, how how am I qualified to do this, you might ask? Well, in all my years of healthcare leadership, part of my job as a leader is to help the associates set quarterly goals and then round on them, check in with them on a regular basis to see how they're going towards those goals. Because those goals and whether or not they accomplish those goals actually factor into their annual review. So, I would help them decide good goals. Because sometimes goals can be too big, they can be too general. Sometimes they can be unrelated to what it is this was in a work setting. So, we weren't setting personal goals in a hospital setting or a clinic setting. We were setting goals that were going to help us, reach business goals. So I did that for a long time. So I'm very familiar with it. And those are my qualifications and what gives me the experience to um, stand up the accountability group, and then also take charge of it and lead it. Now, there will be more to come on pricing, etc. But what I want to put out here right now is that I want to do some beta testing on it before a full launch. So I'm going to be looking for 2 to 3 people who might want to test it out. If you're a person who's into self-improvement, achievement, and set yourself weekly goals, then hit me up. Follow the link tree in the bio or on any of my social media platforms. There'll be a contact button, or you can DM me. But I want to get a couple of volunteers for whom the service will be free, and we will beta test it out, see how it goes, see where we can make improvements, and then launch the full thing. And it will remain free for the people who want to help with that beta testing. And, this is for anyone. This is for something as simple as I don't care if your goal is to merely walk 3 times this coming week. And if you need some support, some accountability, somebody to tell that to, somebody to hold you accountable, somebody to help celebrate that win when you complete it, then that's me. And that's going to be the group, because it's going to be a safe space. It doesn't matter how small your goal is or how lofty it is. Maybe you're working on becoming a millionaire, and maybe there's certain steps that you need to take, and you're going to work on those steps for this week. And maybe your goal is more of a quarterly goal or an annual goal, but what are you going to do between this week and the next time we talk to move the needle in the forward direction for whatever that goal is? And, I'm not an expert on every field or everything, but one of my skill sets from having worked in healthcare and having to work on different projects and be on a project management team is that I'm very good at taking in the big picture and then kind of reducing it down to first things first and what steps are going to be in between. And like I said, I may not be an expert in your field, but if you give me a general idea that, hey, this is what I do for work, this is what I'm trying to achieve, and these are the things that kind of go into it, then I'll get it and I'll kind of understand. And I'll be able to also, hopefully bring an outside perspective or an outside look at if you can accomplish something or you need a different direction to go. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But the whole idea is sometimes we can get wrapped up in our own process so much that we're unable to see other options and whatnot. So that's why kind of having the outside perspective of a group, but also the outside accountability of a group is beneficial. Maybe versus your best friend, your significant other, your partner, depending on who that is for you. I mean, that's why your partner's not your therapist, right? Your therapist is an unbiased third party who can take a look at something, observe the facts and the information, and either help you understand so you can point yourself in the right direction or at least point you in a direction to go. Because sometimes solving something or completing something is also about what we don't do. So even if it's the wrong direction, sometimes we don't know until we take it. But that's the value. And we always have the option to pivot. Remember, we don't have to be married to any one thing unless it's getting you the results you want. But what's the harm in trying something? When I interviewed Elijah, that was one thing he said, what's the harm in a 30-day experiment of trying it if you don't know if it'll work or not? What if it works? What if it works better than you expected? So you just never know. But like I said, if a private accountability group sounds like something that might be of interest to you, follow the link tree, hit the contact button, or go to any of the social media platforms in that contact button and DM me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So, all right. Don't let your goals and dreams slip away. Make sure to reach out and hit me up and go out and be the person that you want to meet. Well, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, go out and be the person that you want to meet.
Let go.